Now we'll go to the PGA and the Mexico Open. Finally makes its long-awaited debut as a fully sanctioned PGA Tour event. It's bounced around a little bit over the years. Corn Ferry Tour or nationwide.com, whatever it is. What are you looking for in Mexico, Paul?
Oh, you'll love it. Someone who can rip it and grip it and rip it. It's a fairly long course. There's one drivable par 4, just under 300 yards, but most of the par 4s are fairly long. There's 5 par 3s, so maybe par 3 performance comes in there as well. But someone who can rip it down there. There's fairly wide open landing areas. There are a number of bunkers in there, so the ability to sort of get up and down if you are in a greenside bunker comes in very, very handy. But definitely length off the tee will definitely help here at the, the Vidanta Vallarta.
Do you know who designed the course?
Greg Norman. It's quite ironic, isn't it?
He's everywhere at the moment.
Quite ironic.
He's everywhere at the moment. So on that, I'm also looking at Greg Norman designed courses, and so the Corrales Punta Cana, the Puerto Rico Open, Mayakoba, even Texas Open,
Valspar.
Patrick, what else you got to add?
Yeah, the driving distance one was the one that came out in flashing lights for me. I think going to be wanting to look at maybe strokes gained approach and birdies it better, because just the way this course profiles, it seems like you're going to have to shoot a low score. But someone's going to be able to overpower this course, so you can't get caught too far behind. So I'm looking at all those sort of scoring metrics. Par 3 scoring, obviously, with the 5 par 3s in play as well, and then all this sort of that connection of Greg Norman / Paspalum courses around sort of Latin America and the southern United States that all link in well together, that I've also taken a look at.
Yeah, nice. I would say too, have a look at approach or proximity from 175 yards or more, because it is quite a long course.
So a lot of the approach shots are probably going to be from around that sort of zone.
Yeah. Okay, we'll keep the same order. I'll start. My best bet in Mexico is Sebastian Munoz at $29. For starters, I cannot have John Rahm's a favorite at $5.
Sorry.
No thanks. He hasn't won a thing since the US Open. Yes, he's been an incredibly good golfer. He is an incredibly good golfer, but not at $5. That's Tiger in his prime.
What would Tiger in his prime be paying against this field? $1.80?
We'd be paying the bookies. No odds. Yeah.
Tiger outbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiger versus the field. Give me Tiger. Sebastian Munoz at $29. He is, as you said earlier, Pat, he's a former PGA Tour winner, and there's not many in this field. So that's probably something to not overlook either when you're doing your research this week. Where are we? Sorry. Against the field, over the last 6 months, he ranks 4th in strokes gained tee to green, 3rd off the tee, and 12th in approach. He's 38th on tour and approaches from 175 to 200 yards, and 34th from 200 yards plus. 47th in sand saves. He's got a great record in Mexico. He was T14 at the 2020 WGC, and he was 2nd at the El Bosque Mexico Championship, which is a Corn Ferry Tour event. He's made 6 straight cuts, had a T4 and a 3rd in his last 10 starts, and he has had a T9 at TPC San Antonio, where they hold the Texas Open. So Sebastian Munoz, $29.
TPC San Antonio Oaks course. Have a look at that guy there.
Oh, hello. We'll both like this. Yours, please.
Tony Fenow at $21. He's 41st strokes gained tee to green, 17th in strokes gained approach. He I guess if you look at his career, he's probably a golfer that has under-delivered on the potential that he had. But I'm not writing him off. I think he's getting better.
It's not like you.
As he gets older. So I'm happy to, and I think him playing away from sort of US soil might help him out a wee bit. He had a top 10 earlier this season. He comes in off a top 30 and a 35th at the Masters, top 30 at the Texas Open. So Tony Fenow, I think, worth a go at $21.
Patrick, you doubling down on the favourites?
No, I'll be cheering for Tony with my heart, but not my wallet this week, unfortunately. So I'll let him Paul take all of Tony. But I'm going with Matt Jones at $41, my best bet. He's was second at the San Antonio last start on Greg Norman design, third at Kapalua earlier this season, and a much stronger field. Of course, I think could match up fairly well. Obviously, it's a very, very long track, pretty wide open fairways, not a lot of rough to deal there. So like that, he's top 30 for par 4 scoring and 34th for driving distance on tour the season. But if he can, beat up a few of those longer par 4s, that'll really come in handy. And it was 30th at the PGA at Kiawah last year, which is reasonable course correlation as well. Paspal in that one. So I think 30th there should track fairly well in this field in terms of not many beat him there playing. So I'll be having something on Matt Jones at 41s.
Nice. Sorry, he did pop up a few times for me, Matt Jones, but didn't make it.
Couldn't fit him in.
Didn't make it. My mid-tier. Russell Knox at $46.
Knoxy.
This is where it starts getting a little weird for me. He is the 6th best golfer in the field over the last 6 months. Stats by datagolf.com. He ranks 5th strokes gained tee to green, 16th off the tee, and 7th in approach. He's second on tour in greens and regulations, and he's inside the top 58 in approaches between 175 and 200 yards and 200 plus yards. He's made 7 of his last 8 cuts. He was T6 at the Players and has had success at Mayakoba, which is a pretty good course correlation there. So Russell Knox at $46. Paul.
Cameron Tringale at $36. He's 19th in greens and regulation, 20th in par 3 scoring. He's had two top 3s earlier this season and comes in off a top 12 and a top 10. So in some pretty good form. Comes into a field which is a lot weaker than the ones he's
not won it.
The ones he's competed in the last month or so. So I think he's a big chance. Cameron Tringale.
The fact that there's a non-winner paying $36, a perennial non-winner.
Wow.
He's won the most. What is he? He's won like $17 million on tour, and he's never won. It's
always there or thereabouts.
Unbelievable, eh? Sorry.
Get your kids some golf clubs.
Yeah, I've got some. Patrick, your mid-tier.
Long-time listeners of the Cut Line will be very familiar with Windham Clark, who's $67 this week and is my mid-tier. Big main reason, third on tour for driving distance. He can absolutely whack at a country mile. He was pretty good at the Heritage. He was 6 under through 3 rounds, and that might be the worst course setup for him on tour. So coming to a much more favourable setup here. 51st on tour for par 3 scoring, so could go right there. And he's got previous top 10s at Puerto Rico, which is a correlation course, as well as the 3M Open, which is another bomber's paradise. He was 22nd at the Karl a few weeks back, so in pretty decent form. He's worth a shot at $67.
Nice. My roughie.
Looks like a long shot, baby.
As I said, this is where it starts getting a little weird. Not overly confident or keen on this person, but Ryan Armour at $111. Ranks inside the top 16 in strokes gained tee to green, off the tee, and approach versus field. He's the most accurate driver on tour. doesn't hit it very far, but he is 34th in greens and regulation. He's 19th in sand saves and 3rd in approaches from 200 plus yards. So worth a little look, I think, at the minors anyway. Ryan Moore at $111. Paul.
Trey Mullinex at $141. Here's someone who can whack it down the fairway a fair distance. He's 14th strokes gained off the tee, a 7th in driving distance. He finished 3rd at the Sanderson Farms tournament last season. He's coming off a couple of miscuts. I'll put a line through the Zurich Classic. I'll blame it on his partner. He finished 50th at the Corrales Punta Cana. He doesn't seem to mind, I guess, courses that are slightly more open and forgiving. So Trey Mullinex at 141.
We all love courses that are open and forgiving. Patrick, yours.
I'm going with Kurt Kitayama at $151. There's a lot of names in this sort of roughy range I looked at, and we looked at their stats and said, no, thank you. Kurt actually showed up pretty well, though. 46 for driving distance and top 40 strokes gained approach on tour this year. I was 3rd at the Honda not long ago, so in some sort of form, and hasn't won on PGA Tour, but got 2 wins on the European Tour, both in sort of windswept coastal tracks at Mauritius and the Oman Open. And to be honest, I'm not sure this is a much stronger field than the 2018 Mauritius Open. So the $151, I'll have a go at Kurt.
Outside of the top 10 guys, this field sucks.
Well, yeah. No offense meant to those players outside the top 10.
Well, they're not exactly selling tickets, I don't think. I mean, I'll go and watch, but it's a good good chance betting wise to nab a roughie.
Yes.
Or nab someone a little bit higher up.
I'd rather watch the LPGA tournament this weekend.
John Rahm wins by 10, and
yes, if he does that, then everyone who backed him at 5 can laugh and be very happy with themselves. But I just like the strength of the field and the LPGA, as opposed to the PGA.